Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, in front of us here today, I have set number 76155 in Arishem's Shadow from the Marvel 2021 Eternals theme, which I am quite excited for. I believe this set is actually one of my personal favorites, despite all the flaws that it clearly has, other than the sticker usage, the joints peeking out all over the place, and the blue studs. More on that later, but honestly, this set itself does look quite nice. And honestly, this was a first time experience for me to build a mech ever in my Lego building career, if you will, which lasted 3 years, but here we are today. And I figured it's important to mention that Lego actually sent me the set here early to review here on my channel. However, all opinions expressed in this video are my own. I'll be criticizing this set and I'll be complimenting this set because it of course has its pros and its cons. Without further ado, let's hop right into the review and see what the set has to offer. First up, I figured I would take a look at the little Deviant included in this set. Now this Deviant can actually fly. Honestly, I'm kind of biased because I just don't like the color blue and red and gold together. Obviously they're like the main primary colors, and seeing them together just gives a very simple feel to this build, I suppose. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it's accurate to the movie appearance of this little Deviant because once again, the movie hasn't come out yet when I've recorded these reviews. I honestly feel like the main highlight of this figure is the wings of the Deviant here and these cute little legs, which can actually sit like so. If you get them to balance, they can sit like that, which makes them look really cute perched in this cute little angle where it's about to take off. And as you can see there, the head area is all stickered. The belly is also stickered, and in general the build is simple, and I think it's like a little filler creature to include in this set, considering each one of the sets from the Marvel Eternals wave does feature a Deviant for playability purposes. First up, I figured I would take a look at the Ajax minifigure featuring some very nice torso and leg printing once again. These figures don't disappoint in terms of all the details included in the torso and legs. And on the back here, we also have some torso printing. We'll just have to take off the hair. The torso printing continues on the back, of course. On the sides, her arms feature this golden type of color. I think it's like pearl gold, and it works very nicely and complements the rest of the figures, and it seems like it's continuing the printing onto the arms, even though it's not. It's like an illusion. And as you guys can see there, here is her angry face, very nice. And of course, here is a look at her happy/casual face. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the color blue in this shade specifically, so I guess it's just a personal thing. I just don't like the color blue used in this minifigure. I'm assuming her outfit does match her movie appearance, at least I hope so. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Ajax. Next up, we have Cersei, who is looking very nice in this awesome green color for the torso and legs. And the flow of this figure honestly looks incredible with the printing continuing all over the figure, including on the back here. And right here we have her alternate face expression, where she looks a little bit annoyed and ticked off. And on the front here, her casual happy face. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Kingo, who is looking really awesome in Lego form here. I really love the purple used on the torso and legs, and once again it flows together very nicely. As you can see there, you can really see the layering of his clothing there with like the undershirt and then the robe on top of it, which looks incredible in my opinion. I really love the amount of detail put in these minifigures and like the golden outline printing, which is just so cool to see. I'm hoping to see more of this in Lego form for other minifigures and themes, hopefully in the future, but this is actually incredible. And as you can see there on the back, we have the same type of golden outline for the back side of the torso. His alternate expression looks very smug. It's like this little smirk. And in general, in my opinion, this figure is one of the stronger ones out of this wave, and Kingo looks really incredible. And lastly, we're going to be taking a look at Icarus featuring the blue shade that I don't like once again. As long as it's accurate, but that blue just seems a little funky to me. The printing on it does look quite nice once again with the flow and whatnot. And on the back, we also have the printing. I've just seen this character so many times, I just got bored of talking about it. If you've seen my other reviews, it's kind of redundant at this point in terms of the minifigures, unfortunately. Face is very generic, nothing too fancy. The hair is also generic. It's just the torso and legs which matter, I suppose, and makes Icarus who he is in this case. Now that we have the minifigures out of the way, it is now time to take a look at the actual model itself in Arishem's shadow. So right here we have the build for In Arishem's Shadow. It is my first mech to build in Lego form, and I think he looks really cool. The building experience was very unique and very fun in general, other than the tedious stickers found around the figure, and he actually measures 30 centimeters in height. And comparing my hand to him, he is quite large. So right here we have In Arishem's head, which can actually rotate 360 degrees, which is very nice to see in Lego form, considering that he has a ball joint there. It works very nicely. You can make him stare at you, look away from you, nod at you, look back at you, silent treat you, whatever you want. And in terms of the head, here's a look at the side of the head there, the back of the head, and right on top of there, these pieces are actually stickered. I suppose it's supposed to mirror the type of energy that flows through the Celestial, which is nice to see, and it also continues on both sides of the arms. In terms of the arms and shoulder design, you can rotate this back and forth because it is attached with this little hinge there, and the same goes for this side as well. You just gotta rotate it horizontally, and it works like a charm, which is cool to see. These stickers are just opposites of each other, with this going this way and the other complementing it on the other side. And below there's like this hot pink translucent piece, which allows for the pieces to stand out more and make him seem more alive. Once again, in terms of the arms, you can make everything go up like this, but his hand can move 360 degrees, which is nice to see. All his fingers can move back and forth. You can make him wave at you. Like that, I suppose. You can just have a ton of fun with the articulation here. And again, this stud shooter can shoot a stud. And yeah, the rest of the arm can rotate as well. This part of the joint can only rotate like so, while this one can rotate 360 degrees for the hand itself. And again, the same goes for the other side, which does the exact same thing like I said earlier, including the stud shooting feature. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the arms and the hands. Taking a look at the center portion of In Arishem, you can see that the hot pink translucent piece is very evident around the figure, which is very nice to see, except on the back there. And it actually flows in quite nicely, considering that this is like the heart portion of the Celestial, if it even has a heart. Let me know in the comments down below. The hot pink substance flows through and makes it to the center here, which I guess fuels the rest of the Celestial. There's actually this light brick that can be found at the very back here, and all you gotta do is just press on it, and the center chest portion can just light up, which is very fun and cool to play with. But you can always just press on it and then let go and then press on it again, like so, and it's pretty cool. And in general, the design is quite nice. It's kind of curvy here, featuring the type of rib cage facade, I suppose. On the bottom here, we have these little shields, which lead to the legs, which is the next portion of this video. We have a center shield here, and on the back, the chest portion just looks like this. It's basically the skeleton of the body, which is pretty typical and common. And now taking a look at the leg portion of In Arishem, you can see that we have hinge pieces which allow for forward and backwards rotation 360 degrees for In Arishem without making pieces fall off. Try to be more careful than I am. And the center portion of the leg can rotate forward and back in a limited fashion because of these bricks on either side, featuring this little knee joint shield type of piece, which is nice to see. And right here we basically have the exact same thing that I've mentioned before with the other leg. And yeah, again with the hinge there and the hinge here. The back is just a skeleton for the overall form of this mech here, which is cool to see. And lastly, taking a look at the lower portion of the legs of In Arishem. This is honestly my least favorite part of this figure. When I finished building the legs, I was like, wait, that's it? Isn't there supposed to be more? It is quite literally attached by these hinge type of pieces, which by the way, fall off quite easily. I just feel like the base is very wonky and not really my cup of tea, if I do say so myself. I would have preferred more pieces to fill out the gaps and the awkwardness of the base here. But one thing I do like, which I guess makes up for it and kind of distracts you from the empty and hollowness of the legs here, I'll just make it more obvious, like this for example. He is pretty much legless like that. See, that's basically his leg. It's made out of 3 pieces attached on hinges, which is awkward to see, and it can fall down very, very easily, which really isn't that great. Each leg is attached by this little Technic mechanism here, which is great to see. But again, those blue pins, I can't really get over them, but it works, I guess, and it lets the entire structure stand firmly if you position it correctly. In general, I think it's fine. I just don't like the hollowness of the legs here. And that's pretty much it for this portion. Well guys, that pretty much wraps up this review. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in this set at all, and if you're planning on purchasing it once it comes out officially in stores. Bye for now.